This is the Juggasit Podcast.
Which was important, especially when I wasn't a little girl growing up, but I imagine...
The representation was important.
Yeah, the representation, because again, back then, media was very gender segregated, and inside of that...
And racially, too.
Yeah, right, it was racially segregated, but inside of the gender segregation came a lot of archetyping, like they kept trying to tell you what kind of girl to be, what kind of boy to be.
You can be a tomboy like Mary-Kate Olsen, you can do ballet like Ashley.
Yeah.
You could be, like, you were very limited. They told you could only fit in certain boxes.
And they didn't give... Right, and there weren't that many boxes to fit in anyway.
And when you're a little girl in the 90s, when you were like me, you didn't really fit into the boxes.
Yeah, so when Spice Girls came on the scene, it was like...
The Spice Girls really changed a lot of little girls' lives.
It was like all these little girls...
And little boys, too.
Got a lot of new choices on how to... And yeah, obviously, it wasn't just girls. It was everybody,
really.
But the
feminist message gave something to women and girls that... both trans and cis and all in between, but it gave the people who identify as female a message of you can do anything you want and you can be anything you want.
Right, exactly. And that's a very strong...
But it wasn't floofy and it wasn't daydreamy either. It was strong.
It wasn't woo. There wasn't a lot of fluff with it. It felt genuine and it felt like something that you could believe in.
And each girl had their own skill and intelligence. Like Emma Bunton was I think a blue belt in some form of martial arts.
Okay.
That's Baby Spice.
Let me look, while you talking...
And Emma Bunton, who is Baby Spice, was a very layered girl. She spoke Japanese. She wasn't just cute baby, and Ginger Spice was a Latinx icon. A lot of people don't know this. Jerry Halliwell, Ginger Spice, was a Spanish woman. She grew up in England, but she was Spanish. And then you had Melanie Brown, Mel B, who was a beautiful and powerful, strong black woman who was loud and didn't give a fuck what you thought. They all had... Even Posh, who I admit is probably, I used to love her as a kid because she most aesthetically looked like me, so that's just what I drew to.
Yeah.
But Posh, even her, she has her own thing. Victoria Beckham, she wasn't the most talented of the group, but she had her own thing. They all had something that you could connect to on some level. And what I loved about Spice World is it started that whole band movie thing, but the band movie thing started... Just like the movie satires, it wasn't meant to be taken seriously.
Really quick, Emma Bunton had a
background in karate.
Which she learned as a child to protect herself from bullies. Her mother's also a martial arts teacher.
And Emma Bunton, her birthday is January 21st, so her birthday is the day after mine. We are both Aquarians.
I'm just trying to look up some more info on this shit.
A lot of them went on to have a very successful solo career. There is not one of the Spice Girls that didn't have talent. Melanie C of Sporty Spice,
yeah,
that girl could blow the fucking roof off a cathedral with that voice she had.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. It's like these girls...
They gave women a lot of power.
They allowed little girls to believe not only can they be different from what advertising and media have told them to be.
They taught them to say, fuck the system and be who you want to be.
And they also told them that they could have a lot of layers and interests, because that was the irony. Each one of these members, it was like, because you had Baby Spice,
who
Posh
was cute
Spice,
and fluffy and who loved her mom, Posh who loved fashion and classy things, Sporty who liked to work out and, be kind of a tomboy, Jerry who was loud, and she was Ginger. She was sexy, feminist, very Marilyn Monroe, but powerful. They all had their tropes, but they went beyond their tropes, and that's what the movie even pointed out.
Which getting back to the movie, this is why I wanted to talk about the importance of staying open and, recognizing when you're stonewalling something and keeping yourself open to new things, because that movie was not appealing to me. But
not on paper.
Not on paper, and certainly not the way they advertised it. So Lindsay decided to Lindsay insisted on showing me the movie Spice World. As a kid, it didn't appeal to me, but I decided to look at it and watch it, and I was like, well, this is actually a really good movie. This is pretty brilliant. And let me just explain to you why it's a good movie. First of all, the movie plays itself like it's going to be one. You can find the Juggasit Podcast on YouTube and Spotify every Monday and Friday.
And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow at Juggasit Podcast on all social media.